Okay, so next one is about how to add an assignment to that class. So obviously this is kind of the clincher, creating these pathways for students to be able to submit actual pieces of work. It's kind of handy, isn't it? So going into all classes, I'm going to select the class that I want to create my assignment for. Let's say it is my 7 English class. And that'll probably automatically go to the assignments section. And this is fairly straightforward. There are a couple of options that you can use here and there. And I think it'll be pretty important if this is the submission method for the official submission for this Year 11 piece, which are, there are many advantages to it being so. I guess they're all set up in a similar way, and I imagine Lisa will give some more information about that. The assessment title might be something along the lines of, my students is going to be different, but might be something along the lines of Unit 1 context piece. Point value can be anything, doesn't really matter. You could put 10, because we like to think out of 10. You could put whatever it is on Iris. I keep this selected. I don't know if any file type has some downfalls, but that's fine. It's Word documents basically. That'll make sure that students can only submit Word documents. Start date doesn't really matter, so they can submit it from any point. The due date is exactly when you want it in by, and this will have a little time thing there as well. So it'll tell the students exactly when, to the last minute, when they're able to submit their piece by. The post date, and this will also be this feedback, well, this advice will be given by Lisa, I imagine, as well. That's the date that students can see the results that you've created online. So whatever that post date is, that's the exact time and date that they'll be able to see or access online through Turnitin their result. Okay, it's worth going to optional settings. I'll show you this, and I'll show you why. So you can enter some special instructions. This will allow you to accept submissions after the due date if you want to do that. You want to generate an originality report for students. That'll tell them whether or not their work has been, or what percentage of their work has been plagiarised. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'd keep that a no. I think, well, that'll pick up on smaller chunks of phrases, whether students have borrowed those or copied those from other students. So there'll be a percentage it'll give you in terms of how much has been, how much is the same as other people's, and you probably haven't agreed upon percentages to what part of that's acceptable. I believe universities say something like 10%. Allow students to see it. That's great. I would keep this standard paper repository. The advantage of that is that the more essays that we keep up on Turnitin, the more essays we get up on there, the greater amount of essays it has to compare future essays to. So it'll be able to detect, in 5 years' time, it'll be able to detect back to now whether or not that student has plagiarised any work. Blah, 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 blah. This is something that we should probably work on using a little bit later. I haven't figured it out yet, but that'll allow us to actually mark a rubric within the system. Don't worry about that for now. This is the one. So make sure that enable grammar checking using eRater is selected as yes. what that'll do is it'll automatically correct any obvious errors that students make, like my big ones are misuse of possessive apostrophes or capitalisation, those kinds of things. So, it cuts down your marking of the banal, dumb errors quite significantly. This one, I go UK. Could be a preference. I think we all pretty much do the UK rather than the American. And this is worth clicking too. So you'll be able to click that to make sure that you don't have to fill any of that in again if you don't want to. And I think mine's already saved all of those anyway, so done. Done. Pretty sure that's it. Yep. So now all of the students in that class can submit to that paper, which is great. If you wanted to do one for formative assessment, I'd recommend there's one setting that is just slightly different. So you set up that one and then you go a revision assignment there. So you can create a revision assignment and then it's the normal process from that point. So it'll ask you for all the same details. Revision will simply mean that, so it says based on paper assignment, so you select the one that it's based on, and it's a formative assessment. And you just fill in all of those details. So you can use it for formative as well as summative. Done.